The iPhone 18 Pro Max is going to be the heaviest iPhone Apple has made in 3 years, 240 grams. That number comes with a trade off. Almost every tech outlet is getting completely wrong. The battery is bigger than 5,500 milliamp hours, the largest Apple has ever put in a Pro Max. But that bigger battery might not actually give you more screen time. We'll get to exactly why, but first, let me show you the full picture. The iPhone 18 Pro Max hasn't launched yet, but the leaks this cycle have been unusually specific. Regulatory filings, supply chain confirmations, and Ice Universe on Weibo, who has a strong track record on Apple hardware numbers. I've gone deep on everything we know, and I want to give you a real breakdown. Not a spec sheet recap, not hype, not another "here are 10 reasons to be excited" list. Real analysis, real trade-offs, a clear answer on whether to wait or buy now. One thing I found in all of this research genuinely changed my take on the battery story. We'll get there. 240 grams. Let's put that in context, because a number without context is just noise. The iPhone 17 Pro Max, the phone you can buy today, weighs 233 grams. The difference between that and 240, 7 grams. 7 grams is roughly 2 standard paper clips. You're not going to feel 2 paper clips, but here's why the number still matters. 240 grams ties the iPhone 18 Pro Max with the iPhone 13 Pro Max and iPhone 14 Pro Max, the heaviest iPhones Apple has ever shipped. And a lot of people have conveniently short memories. When the iPhone 15 Pro Max launched in 2023, one of the biggest reactions in the tech world was how much lighter it felt. 221 grams down from 240 because Apple switched from stainless steel to titanium. People celebrated that. The 16 Pro Max went to 227, the 17 went to 233 with an aluminum build, and now we're headed back to 240. That's not inherently bad, but it is a direction, and Apple is choosing it deliberately for one reason: the battery. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is expected to pack a 5,500 milliamp hour cell. Regulatory filings in the US point to 5,567 milliamp hours specifically. In China, where a physical SIM card tray takes up internal space, the same phone is expected to carry 5,391 milliamp hours. That gap tells you something. Apple is optimizing every cubic millimeter of that chassis. On paper, analysts are estimating 1.5 to 2 extra hours of daily usage over the 17 Pro Max. That sounds great. Here's the part nobody's saying out loud. A bigger battery does not automatically mean more screen time. Apple Intelligence is arriving in full force on the 18 lineup. A rebuilt Siri, on-device AI processing, real-time computational photography that runs before you even put the phone down. All of that is power hungry. And Apple has a very consistent, very well-documented pattern when they add power hungry features. They use the extra battery headroom to maintain battery life, not extend it. They did it with always on display. They did it with real-time translation. They'll almost certainly do it with AI. So that 5,500 milliamp hour battery might deliver you the exact same screen on time as the 17 Pro Max, just with significantly more happening in the background. Is that a bad trade? Not really, but it is not the 2 extra hours of battery headline some outlets are running. Calibrate your expectations accordingly. The display size stays the same, 6.9 inches on the Pro Max, but 2 refinements are worth knowing about. First, brightness. The 18 Pro Max is expected to push higher peak nits than the current model, which is already excellent outdoors. Second, a smaller dynamic island. The dynamic island is already small. Making it smaller means more usable screen space, or having a more immersive, seamless look. What is not happening under display Face ID? That was rumored earlier in the cycle. It is not coming this year. If you've been waiting specifically for that, this is not your phone. And quickly, new color options, dark cherry, lighter blue, gray. Dark cherry is going to sell phones. I don't have data on that. I just know it. The camera, because if you're a Pro Max buyer, this is near the top of your list. And this is the most compelling argument for waiting. The biggest rumored upgrade, variable aperture on the main camera. Variable aperture means the lens physically opens wider in dark environments and narrows in bright ones, giving the sensor more control over exactly how much light it's working with. This isn't a software trick, it's a hardware capability that genuinely makes a difference in challenging lighting, especially at night, in dim restaurants, at concerts. Premium Android flagships have experimented with this. When it works well, it works really well, and the main sensor is also expected to jump to 24 megapixels with upgrades to both the front-facing camera and the ultra-wide. If photography is your primary reason for choosing a Pro Max, this is probably the most meaningful real-world upgrade in the 18's entire spec sheet. Not a checkbox. An actual capability, the 17 Pro Max does not have. RAM stays at 12 gigabytes. Before that disappoints you, Apple's software and hardware integration means 12 gigabytes of RAM here outperforms 16 or even 20 gigabytes on competing devices. It's not about the number, it's about what the number is running on. The more interesting story is the modem. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is expected to ship with Apple's fully in-house modem, moving away from Qualcomm entirely. Better integration, better battery efficiency at the chip level, stronger privacy controls on your cellular connection. It's the kind of upgrade that's invisible when it works and very noticeable when it doesn't. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is expected to start at $1,399, $100 more than the current model, and there's something else happening alongside this launch. Apple is widely expected to announce the iPhone Ultra, their first foldable, at the same event. That phone will be significantly more expensive, and our early reports suggest it might be even heavier than 240 grams. So if the 18 Pro Max feels like a lot of phone, the Ultra is going to feel like you're carrying a small hardcover book. For most people, the 18 Pro Max is going to be the move, but understanding both options at launch matters because the Ultra's existence will almost certainly affect how Apple prices and positions everything around it. So the actual answer is, should you wait for the iPhone 18 Pro Max or buy the 17 Pro Max? Right now, here is my honest take, and I'm going to be direct about it. If you're on anything older than iPhone 15 Pro Max, wait. Variable aperture alone makes this the right call. If you're on an iPhone 16 Pro Max, it depends on how much the camera matters to you. For most 16 Pro Max users, this is not a must upgrade year. If you're on iPhone 17 Pro Max, there is no compelling reason to upgrade. None. Save the $1,400. Hey, and if you're planning to buy the 17 Pro Max new right now as we speak, I'd wait. The 18 is close enough on the calendar that spending over $1,000 today to spend more than that in a few months is a decision you'll likely regret. One last thing, and I think this is genuinely interesting. Apple is about to make their heaviest iPhone and their thinnest iPhone in the same year. The 17 Air exists. The iPhone Ultra is coming. The Pro Max just became the middle child, which honestly might be exactly where most of us live. I'm curious where you land on this. 17 Pro Max right now or wait for the 18? Drop it below. I read every single one.